When I saw the price for the Starsand Island Deluxe Edition at $40, I laughed at my monitor. It was a reflex. Then I felt a very specific heat in my chest. I felt angry. $40. That is Shadow of the Erdtree money. That is the price of a massive, polished expansion from a world-class studio. We're talking about hundreds of hours of AAA content, yet here is a new title asking for the same amount for an unfinished farming simulator. I pulled up my Steam library to check the math. Stardew Valley is $15, Terraria is $10, and these games are titans of the genre. They are finished, they are deep, and they work. The math for these new releases is wrong, and it is broken. I call this the cozy tax. I feel it is a pricing model that takes advantage of this specific community, and reminds me somewhat of the pink tax in retail. Companies charge more for products marketed to women or casual players, and they assume the target demographic will not complain. They assume we won't check the spec sheet. It kind of feels like an Unreal Engine tax. Games use high-end assets to make the lighting look soft, the water look realistic, and the price tag doubles because of the graphics. But good lighting is not gameplay. A pretty sunset does not justify $40 if the inventory system is broken. There's something troubling about how we react to this. The industry knows that we are desperate for the next Stardew Valley, and they are exploiting that hunger. They charge a premium for the hope that this game is the one to fill the void. We see it in the marketing. They promise a wholesome experience. They use keywords like relaxing and vibes. These are marketing terms used to hide shallow mechanics. They want $40 for the promise of relaxation, but they rarely deliver it. There is a clear, nice problem in the cozy gaming space. We are notoriously forgiving as a community, and I see it in comments on buggy games where people are saying things like the devs are trying their best. We are too kind, and we do not refund games often enough. We wait for patches, we make excuses for errors because the art style is cute, and publishers are weaponizing our kindness. They know they can ship a shaky product because we are polite, and they treat our patience as a free loan. Other genres do not tolerate this. FPS players would riot if a hitbox is slightly off, but we say thank you for a game that deletes our save files. Based on this, I refuse to pay for three things. I will not pay for roadmaps. A roadmap is a list of features that should be in the game today. I will not pay for aesthetics. I can look at art online for free and I need gameplay loops. And finally, I will not pay for beta testing. If I am finding bugs, I am working and the studio should be paying me. Instead, the current market charges AA prices for the privilege of reporting errors, and quite frankly, I find it insulting. I remember exactly when this shift started to happen. We did not get here overnight. This pricing strategy was a slow creep, and it started with small increases, then it exploded. I look back at the timeline and the escalation is clear. For years, $20 was the ceiling. It was the standard. If you were an indie farming sim, you charged $20 or less. My time at Porsche launched around that price point and it was fair, and it made sense given the scope of these teams. The launch of Faith Farm was the clear turning point. That was the moment everything changed. When the devs announced a price tag of $60, I remember the community reaction. We were confused and we thought it was a mistake. It was not a mistake. They charged full AAA retail price for a cozy farming sim and marketed it as a premium experience. They claimed it had more polish and more content. I bought it, I played it, and it was fine. It was cute. But the NPCs were flat, the dialogue was generic. It was a $20 game in a $60 box, but it sold and it made money. That success sent a signal to every publisher in the industry. It told them the ceiling was gone and that we would pay for anything. Disney's Dreamlight Valley normalized a different kind of monetization. They introduced the Founders Pack, and this is a clever way to sell an unfinished game. They told us the game would be free to play eventually, but if we wanted to play now, we had to pay. We paid $30, $50, or even $70 and paid for the privilege of testing their servers. We paid to help them fix their economy, and they used the early access label as a shield. If the game broke, they pointed to the label. If the microtransactions were aggressive, they said they were testing, and it normalized the idea that we should pay a premium to work as quality assurance testers. There was a clear shift in the indie space following these two titles, and I do not blame small teams for wanting to survive. Game development is expensive and inflation hits everyone. But I see a trend where the price is set by the market potential rather than the actual value of the game. Publishers see the numbers from Fae Farm. They push developers to aim for higher price brackets, and I see Kickstarter campaigns and early access launches hitting $30 while missing core features. They look at those successful outliers and try to match the price tag without matching the content. The roadmap has replaced the finished product, and this is the new standard. Studios sell us a JPEG over timeline instead of a complete game. They charge $30 today for features that might arrive in a year. They promise multiplayer in Q4, they promise romance options in Q2. And I am not a venture capitalist, I am a customer. I should not be investing in the potential of a product, I should be buying the product. And when I buy a chair, I do not accept a missing leg with a note that says, "Leg coming in patch 1.2. I am tired of being treated like a wallet with a controller. I understand that making games is hard and I want developers to be paid fairly, but the consumer is being asked to bear all the risk. We pay up front and we hope the game gets finished, and we hope the roadmap is real. The cozy tax is the cost of that hope. It is quantifiable and it is ruining the genre that we love. We need to stop paying it and we need to demand better. Now I know the economic reality. I live in the real world, I pay rent, I buy groceries, and I see the price of eggs. I understand that game development is a business and not a charity. Studios have overhead, they pay for software licenses, office space, salaries. Inflation hits them just as hard as it hits me. A $30 game in 2026 is roughly equivalent to a $20 game in 2016. The value of the dollar has changed and I accept that math. I want developers to be paid fairly and I want artists to have health insurance. I want programmers to pay their mortgages. I'm not asking for free labour. And making games is harder now. The standard for visuals has gone up and players expect high-resolution textures. We expect that dynamic lighting and complex animations, and these things take time and money. A team cannot survive on $10 sales figures unless they sell millions of copies, and most indies will not sell millions of copies. They need that higher price point to break even. I understand that logic, and I am reasonable. I struggle, however, when the price increases but the quality decreases. If I am paying premium prices, I expect a premium product. Inflation explains a price hike, but it does not explain a quality drop. The cozy tax is not just about the number on the sticker, it is about the value in the box. I am being asked to pay $30 or $40 for games that are objectively worse than the $15 games of 5 years ago. I am paying more for empty worlds, and I am paying more for broken save files. The devs gotta eat argument falls apart when the product is inedible. There is a disturbing trend regarding early access pricing. Early access used to mean a discount and you paid less because you were taking a risk. You were playing a game that you knew was unfinished, and you were doing the work of a quality assurance tester. Now, publishers charge full price for day one early access. They charge that $30 for version 0.1, and this is wrong. If you charge full price, your game must be stable and it must be polished. Hades launched in early access, Baldur's Gate 3 launched in early access. Those games were functional and they were high quality. Stardew Island is not Hades, it is crashing and it has placeholder text. Charging $40 for a prototype is not inflation, it's exploitation. I also dislike the double dip strategy most of all. I look at the Stardew Island Deluxe Edition again. It costs extra and it includes exclusive outfits and exclusive furniture. This is a paid game, it's not a free to play. In a cozy game, fashion and decoration are the main goals, they are the end game. By locking cool outfits behind a paywall on day one, the developers are stripping content from the base game. They are selling me the game and then selling me the fun parts of the game separately. It makes me anxious when I see this. I play cozy games to relax, I play them to escape the pressure of the real world. I want to farm turnips, I want to talk to my neighbours. I do not want to see a store button on the main menu, and I do not want to see a battle pass in a farming sim. I don't want to have to worry that I am missing out on the deluxe scarecrow. This monetization style brings the stress of modern capitalism into my digital garden, and it ruins the vibe. It breaks the immersion of the game. If a game costs $30 or more, it should be complete, and it should not ask for more money. I look at Fields of Mystria to prove my point. This game launched relatively recently, and it costs roughly $14 and it is early access. I played on launch day, and it felt polished. The art direction is nostalgic yet crisp, the dialogue is funny, and the magic system is unique. I encountered 0 crashes. The developers released a complete enjoyable experience for the price of a movie ticket. They did not ask for $40, and they did not sell a deluxe edition with a golden hoe, they just sold a good game. But let's compare Mystria directly to the new wave of expensive sims, and the contrast is sharp. Mystria has character. The NPCs say new things every day and the world feels alive, the mechanics are snappy. Then I look at Starsand. The movement is floaty, the world is too big and too empty, and the NPCs feel like static mannequins. Yet Starsand costs more than double the price of Mystria, and this proves that high prices are a choice, not a necessity. One team managed to make a beautiful stable game for $14, the other team is charging $40 for a mess. Inflation affects both teams, the difference is the respect for the consumer. I respect the developer of Dinkum immensely. His name is James, he is one person, and he built a massive game. It has farming, it has hunting, it has vehicles, it has terraforming, and it has multiplayer. It is huge, and he sells it for a fair price. It's updated constantly, and he does not complain about the market, nor does he charge a cozy tax. He puts his head down and works, and the result is a game that embarrasses these larger studios. A single developer produced more content than teams of 20 people are producing for double the money. These examples destroy the publisher's narrative. They tell us games have to cost $30 now. They tell us it is impossible to make a profit otherwise, but Dinkum proves that is false, Stardew Valley proves that is false, and Fields of Mystria proves that is false. These games are profitable because they are good, and they sell millions of copies because players trust them and they deliver value. High prices are often a desperate attempt to extract revenue from a small player base because the publisher knows the game is not good enough to go mainstream, and they are milking the whales because they cannot catch the fish. I recall that feeling of discovering Stardew Valley for the first time. I paid $15, I played it for 400 hours. That is value and that is the standard. I am willing to pay $30 for a game, I'm willing to pay $40, but the value must match the price. If a developer wants Elden Ring money, they need to deliver Elden Ring quality. They cannot deliver a mobile game port and expect a console price. I demand better from this industry. I refuse to lower my standards just because the genre is cozy. A bad game is a bad game and a ripoff is a ripoff. It does not matter if the art style is pastel, and it does not matter if the music is lo-fi hip-hop. We need to stop accepting mediocrity and look at Fields of Mystria, look at Dinkum. We need to say, this is what we expect. If a publisher cannot meet that bar, they do not deserve our money, and they certainly do not deserve $40. There is one simple rule, and I call it the value calculation. Before I buy a cozy game, I check the price and I check the content. If the price is over $25, I look for 3 things: a finished main story, unique mechanics that justify the budget, and technical stability. If the game misses any of these, I do not buy it and I wait for a sale, I play Stardew again or I play Mystria again. I do not feed the greed, and I do not pay the tax. We need a new rule for buying games, and I'm going to call it the guilty until proven innocent rule. It sounds harsh, but it is necessary. For years we've operated on trust, we've assumed developers wanted to ship a working product. The current state of the market destroyed that trust. Now I assume every new cozy game is a cash grab until I see proof otherwise. There is one exception. I trust Concerned Ape. He created Stardew Valley, he updated it for free for a decade, and he earned my money. I will pre-order Haunted Chocolatier and I will pay full price. He has a track record of respect. I urge you to treat every other studio with extreme skepticism. Do not pre-order. Pre-ordering is paying for a promise, and in the current industry, promises are worthless. You were giving them interest-free loans, and you were telling them that marketing matters more than mechanics. We see shiny trailers for games that do not actually exist. They are vertical slices. They are animations made to sell pre-orders. And when you pre-order a game from an unproven studio, you are gambling, and the house usually wins. Stop gambling with your entertainment budget. I recommend using the refund policy as a quality control tool. Steam allows a refund within 2 hours of playtime, so use it. Treat those 2 hours as a demo. If the frame rate drops, refund it. If the translation is bad, refund it. If the controls are sluggish, refund it. Do not feel bad, and do not wait for a patch. A transaction is a contract. You paid for a working product, they delivered a broken one. You are entitled to your money back. Sending the money back sends a message, it shows up on their sales data and hurts their metrics, and it's the only language that publishers speak. However, I caution you against abusing this system with small indie developers. There is a nuance here. If a game is made by one person and it is simply boring or not for you, consider keeping it. 2 hours is a lot of time for a solo dev, and refunds hurt them deeply. But I draw a hard line at technical incompetence. If a game is broken, it does not matter if the team is small. I do not pay for broken chairs just because a carpenter is new. I expect the chair to hold my weight, and I expect the game to launch. I accept that $40 is the new normal. Prices are going up and we cannot change inflation. We cannot force studios to lower their operational costs. We have to accept the sticker shock. However, we must be pickier. We cannot buy every Q game that hits the new releases tab. We have to curate our libraries. We have to be ruthless with our time and money. If the price goes up, our standards go up. If they want those AA prices, they must deliver that AA quality. I predict that the bubble will burst. The market is flooded. We are drowning in farming sims. Every publisher wants a piece of the Stardew pie, but most of them will fail. They will fail because they lack the soul of the genre. They are products, not art. The indie developers will save us. As long as solo developers make games like Dinkum or Fields of Mystria, the greedy studios will lose. Quality eventually wins. Players are smart, we talk to each other, and we warn each other. The bad games will die out if we stop feeding them. Calculate their value using the pizza test. You have $30 in your pocket, you can buy the deluxe edition of Star Sand Island and you get a buggy game and a few digital outfits and frustration. Or you can make a different choice. You can buy Fields of Mystria for $14, you can then buy a large pepperoni pizza for $16, you have a polished, beautiful game, you have dinner, and you have a great evening. The math is undeniable. Mystria plus pizza is greater than Star Sand. I would advise that you follow this checklist before you buy anything. First, check the developer history. Have they finished a game before? Second, wait for the reviews. Do not always trust a trailer. Watch a stream, watch raw gameplay, look for the bugs. And third, check the roadmap. If the roadmap promises basic features like controller support or key binding, do not buy it. Those should be in the game at launch. And fourth, check the Discord. See what the community is saying. If the bug report channel is moving faster than the general chat, I'd advise you stay away. And I urge you to support the good actors in this space. It is not enough to boycott the bad ones, we must reward the good ones. If you love Roots of Patcha, leave a positive review on Steam. If you love Coral Island despite the hiccups, tell the devs what they did right. Buy Dinkum, gift it to a friend. These developers are taking a risk by charging fair prices. They are leaving money on the table because they respect you. We need to prove that respect is profitable, and we need to show the industry that fair pricing leads to long-term success. I promise that we have the power to fix this. We are the market. Without us, there is no cozy tax, there are no broken launches, and there are no predatory roadmaps. If we stop buying unfinished games, they will stop selling them. It is simple economics. Supply follows demand, demand quality, demand respect. Keep your standards high, and keep your wallet closed until they earn it. And enjoy your pizza.